What's up, everybody? Welcome to my spoiler review for Dune Part 2. I don't want to waste any time with this one, so let's just get right into this thing. I'm going to get it started here with just a broad stroke look at the story. It's not going to be every detail because I'm assuming if you're here, you've seen the movie, and I also just haven't gotten around to the books yet, so I can't really do like a compare and contrast thing, but let's hit the key talking points. So it starts as Princess Irulan makes a journal entry of the fall of House Atreides and the rest of the real big moments in Part 1. Then we jump to Arrakis, where Paul is not being met with open arms by all the Fremens that Stilgar, who relentlessly believes in the prophecy, brought him to. But he says he doesn't want to lead, rather fight alongside them as one of them, so he begins to prove that, really impressing them in a fight against the Harkonnen spice miners, where he saves Shani and gets her an opening to finish the fight. The final test is to ride a sandworm, which is that scene they released publicly, and man did it rule, even though it's like the fifth time I've seen it overall, and like the third time I've seen it in IMAX. But he rides the biggest grandfather worm ever, truly earning the respect of most of the Fremen. During all of that, his mother Jessica is becoming the Reverend Mother of the Fremen because theirs is dying. As a result of the Fremen disrupting all the spice, two things happen. One, Baron Harkonnen gives Arrakis to his other nephew, Feyd-Rautha, taking it from Beast Rabban after his failure to get the situation under control. The other thing is that Gurney Halleck has begun running Spice due to the Harkonnens' losses caused by Paul and the Fremen, and the two are reunited once again. After the Harkonnens attack the Fremen home, they head south, where Paul drinks the water of life, which he isn't supposed to survive, but he does, and he also sees his unborn sister, which will be Anya Taylor-Joy's role, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna work that out because if the original Dune is loyal to the books with her, she's literally a baby, but apparently going to be portrayed by Anya, maybe just voiced. I don't know. Who knows? If you've read the books and can shed some light on that, down in the comments below for me, I'd very much appreciate that. Anyway, the movie ends as the Emperor comes to Arrakis after he learns Paul is indeed still alive, where he's taken prisoner alongside with his daughter, Feyd-Rautha, and some of the others that were with him. Paul murders Baron Harkonnen there, and then Gurney gets his revenge on Beast Rabban, and then in an epic 1v1 knife fight, Paul bests Feyd-Rautha, even though Feyd got the first stab in. After the fight, Paul chooses the princess over Shani and sends his forces out into space as the other great houses don't accept his ascendance, and Shani remains in the deserts of Arrakis. Changing it up from how I usually do it, I'm going to go straight into the pros of the movie here because I literally only have one minor gripe and I'll talk about it at the end. It barely even matters. Starting this off though, I'm going to stick with the story because I absolutely loved every bit of it. Having seen the movie now, I can comfortably say that everyone, Christopher Nolan included, calling this the Empire Strike Back to Dune's Part 1's A New Hope, are absolutely 1000% correct because goddamn did Denis and John Spates deliver. Then there's the direction and visuals brought to us by Denis. I mean, this guy is so motherfucking talented. It's not even funny. I could spend 30 minutes just sitting here in awe again, talking about the shots in the movie, but a few that really stood out to me were Paul riding the Sandworm for the first time, Feyd-Rautha's Coliseum fight for his birthday, which was epic, and the scene of Paul rallying all the Fremen together. Obviously, that's not all Denis. Shout out to all the VFX workers on this movie because their hard work paid off big time as well. Next up is the score by a guy named Hans Zimmer. Ever heard of him? Yeah. Well, he doesn't miss a beat here in this one as his work swallows you like a sandworm as it beats through your entire body. And he's done a lot of great work in his career, but I gotta say, this might be some of his best work yet. On that note, I should probably mention the ones who make us believe in this world, the cast. I mean, just wow. I could hop on IMDb and run through every name of the main cast, and they'd probably not have one scene I didn't enjoy, but the one who really steps up to the task is Timothy Chalamet. He's off. He's obviously a great actor, and just since the first movie showed his range going from Paul to Willy Goddamn Wonka, but for everything he did in those movies, nothing commands your attention like his performance in this one. Outside of him, my second favorite was probably Austin Butler, who was able to make Elvis leave the building and become a Harkonnen and a truly terrifying villain on top of that. Javier Bardem was also just fantastic, and I guess you'd probably call him the comedic relief in this one. Like, his character's not cracking jokes 24/7, but my theater, myself included, had a great time with Stilgar's role in this one. And obviously, everyone else in a substantial role was great. no matter their screen time. That's Florence Pugh, the lovely Rebecca Ferguson, Josh Brolin, Zendaya, Stellan Skarsgård, Lea Seydoux, and Dave Bautista. A big congrats to the cast of this movie. I see quite a few awards in their future next award season. Finally, the fight scenes in this movie are top notch. Everything from Fade Ruther versus Paul, which, oh my god, I love the ending of that fight with Fade getting so cocky and confident once he stabs Paul, but Paul sticking strong and fighting through that, showing that Atreides done hearken in blood, and getting the final laugh on Fade, who he defeats, to Fade's birthday fight with the what the Emperor believes at the time to be the three remaining members of the Atreides house. Denis did a hell of a job shooting these scenes, and the coordinators cooked up some awesome, intense fights. Then my one gripe with the movie is actually something I find myself struggling with in almost all of Denis' films, and that was the lighting of the dark scenes. Not tonally dark, but literally visibly darker scenes. There's dark, and then there's not being able to see what's going on dark, and unfortunately, Denis does lean towards that latter one, and that's the only thing I didn't love about this movie, and I can't emphasize enough how minor of a complaint that is. Like, it barely matters. It does not affect my score of the movie, but it is something that is a reoccurring issue in Denis' films. And so that'll do it for my spoiler review of Dune Part 2. If you couldn't tell, this was indeed Denis' masterpiece, and it is going to land at a perfect 10 out of 10 for me. By the time you see this video, I'll already have seen it for a second time, and I'll probably have my third ticket booked and ready to go because it just has to be seen in theaters on the best screen possible. But let me know what you thought of it down in the comments below, and make sure you have a great day.